Hi everyone, it's great to see you. It is time to get started in science. So we're going to do an experiment today that I think you're really going to like. And I'm going to give you a hint. Something is going to turn green. Okay? So we need some things, but we need to go over some things before we get started with our experiment. Okay? So the first thing is we're going to go over some of the vocabulary words that we're going to talk about in our science experiment. So the first word is to conduct. And what I mean by the word conduct is that it is the act or the way of managing something. So I think of like a band conductor. So the band teacher conducts his players of what they're supposed to be doing, how fast they're supposed to be going. So he's conducting the way that they play based on the tempo of the music. Okay. Our next word is to investigate. And to investigate means to look into something carefully and closely examine it. So today we are going to do our experiment, and you're going to investigate what's happening to this thing that's going to be happening. Okay? Then we have interaction. So there's going to be an interaction that's taking place between two things. Okay, so two things are going to be happening, and you're going to be watching for that interaction.
What?
Our next word is matter.
Dude, he just killed me just like
anything that takes up space. Matter is anything that takes up space. So like in our bowl that we'll be using, okay, something will take up space in there. And we'll talk about that when it comes time. And then we have our last word, which is a chemical reaction, which has to work with why we're doing this experiment. And a chemical reaction is a process in which one or more substances is converted into a new substance. Okay? So this is the standard matter and its interactions, and we're going to conduct an investigation to determine whether the mixing of two or more substances results in a new substance. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and switch this over. So first we need to remember what a chemical reaction is. And so that's when we mix one or two more things, more substances to create a new one. So for this instance, like an example could be to bake a cake. Before we bake the cake, we have to mix ingredients together, and we refer to that as batter. And then we take that batter, we place it in a pan, and then we bake it to make a new solid substance, which we call a cake. So we went from batter to cake. So today we are going to make a chemical reaction using a penny. So a penny, which is worth 1 cent. And then we're going to need a paper towel. And then we're going to need vinegar. So I don't know, vinegar. And then we're going to use, you can use a mason jar, you can use a bowl, whatever you have at home. I'm going to use this little bowl so that way it's easy to see what's happening. But if we're in school, the kids could use a beaker, or if they have paper bowls, whatever it is. So you make it work with whatever you have. You don't have to buy anything for this experiment. And I would provide the students with the vinegar, the paper towel, and the penny. And of course the bowl, because the bowl probably will be there. Now, if you don't have enough pennies, you could always ask the parents to donate a penny. But for the most part, you should be able to find one. Okay, moving on. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper towel in half. So it's going to look like this now. So I folded it in half, and then I'm going to set it inside my bowl. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, now I'm going to take my penny, and I'm going to set it on top of my napkin, like this. So it's just sitting there. There's nothing onto it yet. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add vinegar. And we're going to add as much vinegar it takes to cover the penny completely. Like it has to be soaking in it. And as we're watching this experiment, this chemical reaction taking place, the students should be noticing that the penny is starting to turn green. Okay, and that is because of the ingredients that are in the vinegar and what a penny is made out of.
What?
So the students are going to be watching for that. And they're going to be able to conduct this experiment themselves. So when they conduct, they are going to use the vinegar. They're going to pour it themselves, and then they will get started. So I'm going to take the vinegar lid off. Okay, and then I'm going to pour the vinegar over the penny until it is completely covered. And I added just a little bit extra just because I want it to really soak up the vinegar. Now, this can take up to 30 minutes for it to fully turn green. So it's a longer experiment. So the students could do the experiment first, then go do their assignment, and then come back and look at it. And I'm also planning on leaving the penny there and not doing anything with it till the end of the week. So we would start this on Monday, stop it on Friday, so that way they can see what the vinegar did to that penny over a week of a period of a time. Okay. All right. So now, sorry about that. So they will write a response paper. And in this response paper, at the end of the experiment, which is just what they're going to do today, they're going to explain why the penny turned green using their 5 vocabulary terms. Now, this could be a paragraph, or it can't be one sentence because they can't put all their vocabulary words into one sentence. But I would like them to at least have all 5 words in their response paper. And I have created a rubric that if they meet the goal, like if they use all 5, then they score the 5 out of the 10 points that it's out of for just that. And then they're also going to be, they're going to have where they have to use proper grammar and spelling. So I will be looking for grammar and spelling, all 5 spelling words, or all 5 vocabulary words, in order to score the perfect 5 out of 5 on this assignment. It wasn't out of 10, sorry about that. So it's 5 out of 5. So they'll also get points, which I didn't add it on. But so they'll get 5 points for doing the response paper. But if they participate in this experiment, I'm also going to give them 5 points for doing the experiment. So it's going to be a total of 10 points for this assignment. And it's a fun 10 experiments. So as the vinegar is sitting here, it hasn't started turning it yet, but I have to keep adding a little bit more because it's just taking it all in. But I will leave it there. And then over the week, the kids can come back and look at it at any time. They want to see it turning that green color. But I have it still soaking just like that. And the paper towel really absorbs the vinegar. So you might have to use, I would probably do like half of a sheet next time and not a full one, just because of how fast it took in the vinegar. But other than that, so they have to have their response paper using their 5 vocabulary terms. And then they also get their 5 points if they do the experiment. And that is all. Thank you.